Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for the crypto market recap. Let's hop into these charts and see what the story is and what it may be. So what is on the docket today? We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Uniswap, Solana, Cardano, and we'll also be looking at the three positions we closed out today in profit: Litecoin, Link, and Polkadot. So let's start with Bitcoin. This is going to be short and sweet since not much has changed from the last video we made. We're still in the wedge. We're still in this bearish pattern, the rising wedge, but we are in our first target zone, that short-term bullish target zone I was telling you about, which is 42,000, and we've been really fighting in between 42,300 and 41,800. That range mostly for the day. Not much has happened beyond there, but I am confident that we will find more bullish impulse to get towards 44,000, 44,500. Okay, so that's really still my target zone, and whether I'm going to take any profit from our Bitcoin long, whether it's partial or the full position size, we'll see. But I am still very confident. I don't see much of the story changing, that we will likely get to the 44,000 to the 44,500 zone. Okay, so just keep your eye on that. If we do start showing weakness, hey, we are in that zone, but this is why we did take profits off of those positions, and we'll go over that when we get to them. Okay, and let's move on from Bitcoin. Again, not much new information here. We're just playing the pattern out. Let's take a look at Uniswap. Uniswap, similar situation to Bitcoin. I do want to go over one thing with Uniswap. It is been performing absolutely great. So I don't want to talk that down, but I do want to say we are going into possibly exhaustion. So when you have consecutive days of just up or consecutive days of just down, you have to keep in mind that there are exhaustion phases. Just think of like a runner. If you have a runner that's run 10, 20 miles, well, they're going to need to take a breather at some point. Well, that's very similar to charts. Charts are like people. So eventually we're going to start seeing some calls for a rest here, and you're going to see that in selling activity. So you're going to see a breather coming at some point, and this resistance zone at $10.30, $10.50, it's very strong. So it's very likely that we will stall here. I do think it is possible still, of course, that Uniswap can get to the $11 and maybe even the $12 mark. I have mentioned that before, but that's predicated on Bitcoin having a really strong, decisive move to 44,000, 44,500. I'm still aiming for $10.30. I probably will take the position off there. If I see the price action is very strong, decisive, I might wait till 10.50. But it's very unlikely I'll stay in until 11 if that should happen. I'm very comfortable taking the profit here. We got in off this great support bounce, and I'm not willing to give back that much, but I don't feel rushed to close this out yet. Okay, so let's go to Solana. Solana's been doing great. It's performed exactly as I thought it would. In my last video, I did talk about I was almost positively going to close here. What changed was that I ended up closing Link, Litecoin, and Polkadot. So I felt that if I was going to give a position of hours, if you're in the trade with me, some room to possibly make a bigger move, it would be Solana. Because unlike a lot of the other positions we're in, Solana has yet to break its descending trend line, and I have a lot of confidence that it can, just based off the price action of Bitcoin and the probability that this has room to go. So I think it's worth at least giving it some breathing room, but I am close to closing this. So if you are in it, just be ready for any alert on Solana, because if I do see significant exhaustion on smaller time frames, I will very likely close this position. We are in good profit, and again, I don't want to get greedy. I am still midterm bearish, so I don't want to give back too much of our profits, but I do feel confident enough that I can give Solana some breathing room, especially after taking the profits off the other three positions. And again, if Solana does break this descending trend line, I think, like I've been saying, $100 is in play, 105, and then maybe even like 115, and maybe all the way up to 120. If Bitcoin really shows a decisive like a move to 44,000 plus, then you'll probably get a move towards this zone. I'm not aiming for that personally. I'm not like targeting that. I will likely close the entire position well before that, but I do see that as being a possibility. And like I've mentioned before, I believe in the last episode, if you want to stay in it, just make sure that you keep your eye on Bitcoin exhaustion, any weakness off Solana, and then go from there. So we will go to Cardano. And Cardano, the problem child, it has been performing absolutely fabulously today. I urge you to watch the last video, the most recent video before this one. And I talk about this trend line. I talk about all that Cardano was doing, what was forming here, and it's playing out perfectly today. I talk about our position sizing and pretty much why that leads to success, so we can make sure we capitalize on moves like this. It is absolutely fabulous what's happening today. So Cardano finally breaking this descending trend line, the short-term descending trend line, to get the fuel to test out its much stronger, longer-term descending trend line, which is going to be around $1.02 to 95 cents in that zone. Depends on how quickly or how long it may take Cardano to get to this line. And it's really good because what it does is it's showing some relative strength to Bitcoin. So this makes me feel more confident that even if Bitcoin does stall out a little, if it stays stuck at the 42,000 zone, Cardano can still find enough strength to at least get towards the 95 cent, 96 cent zone, and then I can really contemplate maybe closing the position out in a minor loss. And that is all I'm really asking for. I would love for that to happen. But again, we're just going to let this play out. We'll see how close to the trend line we can get. It's possible that we may even get this in a minor profit because we were able to bring down our average entry because of our strategic add-ons at very specific, strong probability support zones. Again, this is a great chart and a great chart to show us why it is always correct to do very controlled, small position sizes. It always works out in the end, mostly to protect you from losses and then to maybe even get you break even and a small win. This is I can't ask for more. So we'll see how this closes today. I'm confident it's going to close around here. Might give back a little bit if Bitcoin shows some weakness. But if Bitcoin goes into the daily closure, I'm telling you, watch for Cardano. It's had about 6-7% day. You might see this have an 8 to 9% day if Bitcoin closes strong. This is showing relative strength. And this is also another indication of why I do want to give Solana a little bit more time. Because if it breaks this trend line decisively, begins the breakout scenario, then there's a lot of opportunity to just bank in a little bit more. Okay? So let's go over Litecoin. This is one of the coins we took our profit off of. Performed absolutely fabulously today. I think we banked in today on Litecoin 14.56%. Cannot complain with that. Really great. We ended up getting in on this trade at $99.94. We actually did not have an add-on on Litecoin because we pretty much caught it at a really strong bounce area at the time. So we didn't really have an opportunity to add on more to it. So it was right around here. Very nice. And it performed pretty much golden from the moment we got in. We didn't have much drawdown. So, that doesn't always work out that way. But when it does, it's very, very, very nice. So, yeah, we ended up closing at the price of $114.49. So actually right where we are pretty much. I didn't want to give this more time. It was at a pretty nice spot to take profit right at this pivot point, these pivot levels here. So I figured, why not bank in that profit, especially since I was, tempted to keep Solana open. So I thought, this would be a great point to bank in on 14.5%. So, if you were in the trade with me, congrats. And now we're ready, if we get any more opportunity in Litecoin or any other asset to, have more powder to jump in. Okay. But again, I do want to say, though this is bullish, I'm still midterm bearish. So I just want to make sure it's very clear. I do think altcoins will run with Bitcoin in whatever direction it goes. So even though, this will likely go up some more, in the midterm, you will see, it's very likely you will see Litecoin break these lows. It will break, under 93.85 and may eventually get to that $69, $65 range. So, I just want to make that very clear. So if you're hopping in the trade now because, it hit this support and it's going up, I don't think you have much room to go. So be very careful. I mean, you could target, $123, $126, but you're playing with a lot of risk. If you're going to do something like that, make sure your stop is pretty tight. Okay, and let's take a look at Link now. Another one we took profit off of. Of the three we took profit off of, this was the lowest profit. This was 10.89% we took. Not going to complain with that. Again, I love Link's chart. I really do. But it's so oversold. It's so oversold. And these scenarios, think about when things are oversold, many people think, okay, well, that means it's likely going to go up. It's likely to go up, but it doesn't mean it's going to fly up. And what I mean by that is something like Link that's pretty much weighed down by USDT, well, Tether, which weighs down Bitcoin. A lot of people don't understand the relationship. So when Bitcoin moves via Tether, everything that is tied to Tether, which is most of the crypto market, moves in tandem. So it's not really Bitcoin that moves the market, it's Tether via Bitcoin that moves the market, okay? And which means the futures market really is moving the spot market, which is actually a sign of an unhealthy market, by the way, just forewarning. So the reason why I took here is because, Link, super oversold, not a bad chart at all. I mean, again, I love the $20 to $21 zone for Link. I love the confluence here, but I do think if it's going to get to that and Bitcoin doesn't move beyond 44,000, 44,500, well, it might be a slow grind. And it's just not worth the risk, in my opinion, especially since I do think once we get to the top of that wedge, we're going to see some exhaustion coming out of Bitcoin, and Link will most definitely follow that. Okay, so if you are in the trade for Link still, maybe take your money now, but if you're willing to hold on a little longer, I would target anywhere from $16 to maybe $18. If you're really confident, you could target like this top pivot here. But I can't complain with where we got in. It was too good to take it now, especially since I want to let Solana run, and Uniswap really as well. I want to give those two more room. I see more potential in those in the shorter term. Okay, and then Polkadot, another great chart. I was very tempted to keep this open, but because I also have this trade for both Patreon members and free members, I was more I had more incentive to close it sooner rather than later, especially since of the three trades, this was the largest percentage gain. We ended up banking in about 16.88%. Great trade. Really loved how it played out. It's performed really well, and it's holding the support line absolutely fabulously. Like I said in the last video, it will likely hold this support line until Bitcoin breaks the wedge. So even if Bitcoin goes down in the wedge, I think the support zone is so strong for Polkadot, it won't break it until Bitcoin breaks the wedge. That's when I can see Polkadot, going down towards the $14 level and maybe even lower. Okay, but this is a great chart, and I would not be surprised if Polkadot makes a move towards the $22 zone. Okay, so like if you're going to stay in this trade, I'm more confident in this trade than I am in Link or Litecoin. This is likely going to get to $22 as long as Bitcoin doesn't show any significant weakening. Okay, so just keep your eye on the markets. If you're following me, hey, we took our money, we made some great gains today, and hopefully Solana and Uniswap continue to perform great, and that Cardano continues to keep this strength going. I mean, one more good day like this, and we're getting close to a minuscule loss, and that'll be great in the scheme of things here. All right. So I think that's about everything I want to go over. I want to keep this short and sweet since the weekend. Hope you're having a great weekend. If you're interested in the Discord, please join the Discord. You'll see the link in the description. And if you're interested in the Patreon, please go through the Patreon, see if anything catches your eye, the tutorings, or you want more callouts. Well, take a look on that. Again, the link will be in the Discord. And if you have any questions, again, join the Discord. It is the best place to get in contact with me. All right. So everyone, take care. Stay safe in this crazy world. And always remember, Be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. Take care, everybody. Bye.